It can't keep going forever. My name is Jane Richards. I'm one of the 2 directors of 8 at the Gate Wines from Wrattonbully, South Australia.
8 at the Gate Wines is based in Wrattonbully, a wine region that lies between Pathaway and Coonawarra in the Terra Rossa-rich rolling hill country of South Australia's Naracoorte Ranges. It's here that 2 sisters, Claire and Jane, produce their award-winning wines, with a helping hand from their ready-made labour force, which is who the company's name is based upon.
Oh, well, I can't take credit for that. Claire and I had been trying to think of a name for years, and we wanted it to represent the fact that we were a family-owned and operated company and not a multinational or just a label stuck on somebody else's wine. So it had to be about the fact that we are 2 chicks doing it together with 8 kids, and we'd come up with all sorts of things. But ultimately the name came with a group of friends around a table with a number of bottles of wine, so that's where it came from.
Claire and Jane grew up spending many weekends and school holidays working with their dad as they rolled out dripper hose to provide irrigation for vines over the flats of Coonawarra. When the sisters bought their estate at Wrattonbully in 2002, their vision was to provide an experience of country living for their children, a lifestyle that involves hard work all year round.
Okay, so having a vineyard is definitely a 12-month-of-the-year job. Claire was a trained viticulturist, or not was, is. She went to Roseworthy and she has worked in the wine industry in South Australia and also New South Wales since she was 20 years old. And so she runs everything to do with the vineyard. So she grows the grapes, and then once the grapes leave the farm gate, then I take over. So I make the wine, I make do the marketing, the labels, the export, and the business side of things. We did bits and pieces together. We work very separately in a lot of the things that we do, and then together in some other things. But it's working with your sister. Obviously that has its own set of challenges, but we seem to have our own patches and we make it work pretty well.
Behind the romance of wine production is the reality of business, which is why Claire and Jane downed tools recently for the wine industry's premier trade show, WineTech.
Yeah, so this is the WineTech conference. It only happens once every 3 years, and this year it's in Adelaide, so it's a really great event for us to come and have all the people that we do business with in one location. And I've been dealing with Dave at Classic Oak for years. Our barrels that we use for our Chardonnay, which is very expensive French oak barrels, come from him, and they're always really helpful with working on our product, and we're all trying to get the best result, and these guys have worked with us to get some award-winning wines. It's so many things that you can do and so many ways that you can use your time, but you have to self-educate. When you own your own business, there's so much outside that nobody's telling you what to do. You have to go and research it. So events like this where everything's in one location is really great, because from a time perspective, I can knock off half a dozen suppliers at once. The wine industry as a whole, the technology has changed so much over the years, and there's so many different things that can make your life easier and improve the end result. And we really have to stay on top of that, otherwise we're going to slip behind, and that's not where you want to be.
Despite the many demands on her around the clock, Jane says she's happy she invested some time in a workshop being offered by Adelaide Business Hub through its Digital Solutions SA program.
The workshop decision was really easy for me because China is a very important part of our business. I've been to China twice now. I committed to the Wine Australia China Roadshow, which was 2 weeks out of my time and a lot of money. And when the Business Hub was broadcasting the fact that they had a China online content course, it was a no-brainer. Plus the cost of the course is very reasonable. I mean, seriously, it was $50 or something. And the amount of time that I got for that cost, because when you own your own business, cost is a big issue as well. There's a lot of things that we can spend money on with education that don't always pay for itself.
As a direct result of the workshop and the follow-up mentoring, Jane says she's already avoided some pitfalls that would have undermined her marketing and promotion to important Chinese markets.
Just from the course after that, I registered my Chinese website. I've commissioned the web designer to do Mandarin content, which is no small task when I do not speak Mandarin or read it. The message that the Chinese consumer wants is different than the message that we send Australians, and that was a big thing. So there's 4 components that I was taught in that we need to focus on. So I've restructured our collateral for that market. One of the other things that that came out of the workshop for me was there are some words that are English words that simply do not have a Mandarin translation. And so even though I thought that my text was fairly simplistic, if the word does not translate to Mandarin, there is no point in me having it in a Mandarin brochure. So an example of one word was chaos. So on our label it says made with passion, resolve and a touch of chaos. And chaos can never translate into anything good in China. So we dropped that word when we're looking at marketing with our content marketing in China. Because in Australia people get it. We got 8 kids, we're running a business, I'm a single mum, it's chaos. But in China that just doesn't work. And also I think we forget that it's not just the market in China. There's 1.2 million Chinese people living in Australia. So we have a local China market here that we don't pay enough attention to.
Equipped with better Chinese promotional materials thanks to the workshops and informed by another successful trade show, Jane can now blend these insights as she prepares to sell the fruits of yet another vintage.
We are 8 at the gate on the internet, if you're just all one word, all in letters. And we sell most of our wine in Australia. We sell direct to consumer at either events or on the website. And we are often doing specials. So if you sign up to our email marketing list, then I'll send you a coupon code that'll give you a better rate.